Hi, booktube. It's Gina. This is so funny. My cats are never cuddly until I sit down to film a video, and then they all start swarming around me. I don't know what's going on. I wanted to hop on today and talk to you about July reading. Can you believe it's going to be July already? I can't. The year is just flying by. But there is a really fun readathon coming up in July. Well, of course, Jane Austen July, which I'll do a separate video on. But this video is going to be about the Retro Romance Readathon. This is just a fantastic idea. It's gone on for a few years, but I have not really participated in it before. So I'm excited to be doing some romance reading in July this year, along with Jane Austen July. So this is Retro Romance. It is running from July 7th to the 21st, and it is hosted by the Bookish Knitter and Storm Reads, both of which, of course, I will link down below. And the theme this year is the seasons, which leaves things pretty open for interpretation. You can read books with a season in the title, with a seasonal picture on the cover, books that were published in a particular season. So they're keeping it pretty wide open. Now, I have not firmed down a TBR yet, but I have a fun romance collection that I thought I would share a few of the books. Now, I've got some piles here, and I went basically through my shelves and just pulled off everything that was romance, that was maybe sort of along the lines of the readathon. Lots of these won't really apply, but they're all published in a season, so that would count. But a few of them I want to just talk about individually as I'm making my TBR, as I'm deciding what I want to read. Oops, I forgot to turn my notifications off. So let's get started. The first stack I want to start with is my Rosamunde Pilchers. So now some of these are pretty, I would say, standard romance, and some of these are not. But let's start with the three that I think are pretty. These are gonna qualify for the readathon because they all have a season in the title. So the first one is A Day Like Spring. This is by Jane Fraser, who is actually Rosamunde Pilcher in disguise. Her first books that were published were these Harlequin / Mills and Boone romances. This one I bought. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? This is like practically brand new. It's a Harlequin. It was published, let's see, by Mills and Boone. This is a Canadian edition, and it was published in 1968. Oh, and A Day Like Spring. I've read this one, so I won't be rereading it for the readathon. I've also got, now these two are not Rosamunde Pilcher. These are two that I pulled off of my Harlequin. I've got a whole stack of these vintage Harlequin romances. This is Nurse Sandra's Second Summer. Isn't that fantastic? And let's see, this one is by Louise Ellis. And then this one is Summer Comes to Alberosa. I've read this one and it was super sweet. I really, really enjoy these early Harlequins. This one is by Iris Danbury. It's not in quite as good a condition as the Rosamunde Pilcher one, and actually even this one's in pretty good shape. And I bought this whole stack when I was book shopping with a friend at Half Price Books, and all of these were, I don't know, maybe they were 50 cents or maybe they were $1 each. I don't remember, but this one's perfect. This one is medium, but still so much fun. And then back to the Rosamunde Pilcher. So these two are two of her earlier books. They were written under her name. And the first is Voices in Summer. And this is, I would say, a pretty typical romance. This one is about Laura, who needs a minor operation, so her doctor forbade her to go on her planned fishing trip to Scotland. But married a scant 9 months, she didn't want to deprive her beloved Alec of his annual holiday with his friends who had known him since he was young. So anyway, she goes to stay with the family in Scotland, and this one's pretty good. Some of her earlier books are not as good as her later books, but this one I enjoy. And this is Voices in Summer, so meets the title season. And this one is the end of summer. And I forgot to mention, these are these fun St. Martin's Press editions that I've been collecting. This is not as good. I don't really recommend this one. It's super short, so it's fine. And the writing is still wonderful and pretty typical of Rosamunde Pilcher. But this one, the heroine is just such a milquetoast. She gets on my nerves. So this one's not so good. And then, of course, these I would say are not typical romances, but they are very romantic. So I'm going to count them for the readathon. This is September in a new, this is Thomas Dunn Books, the newer edition. And then, of course, Winter Solstice. And these are both wonderful. Highly, highly recommend. Then next, I've got a stack of these Marion Chesney romances. Aren't these fun? Two, The Perfect Gentleman. I love that cover. And Sweet Masquerade. And these are just cheapy paperbacks. And then I found this little stack of hardbacks when I was on a work trip. Was it last year, the year before, 5 years ago? I don't know. I don't remember. Time is all a blur to me now. This is Rainbird's Revenge. Now, these don't really have seasons, and so I'm not sure they would really qualify, but they're still wonderful. Minerva. Let's see. Miss Tonks Turns to Crime. Sorry, there's such a glare on here. Look at that cover. I just love that. And then we've got Rake's Progress. And this is a library edition, but I found all of these in a stack, and I went, I'm pretty sure I gasped. And then The Miser of Mayfair, which, there we go. Sorry, there we go. And this one, I don't really know much about these. I haven't read any of these yet. They all have a fairly similar cover with a person on the front and then a kind of a drawing in the back. But those are, oopsie, sorry. Those are my Marion Chesneys. And then I also have a stack of Georgette Meyer's, only one hardback though, which is Charity Girl, which I have not read yet, but I love this edition. This is, what edition is this? E.P. Dutton. And yeah, I love these old vintage hardbacks. This one was published in 1970. And then I've got these, this Pan edition, Powder and Patch. I just love these vintage paperbacks. I have not read this one yet. And then the rest of these Hayers are they're just these inexpensive paperbacks. So there's not really anything special about these, but I've got The Convenient Marriage, Royal Escape. These are so much fun. Frederica, which I have read and absolutely loved. I just loved this book. Arabella, The Nonsuch, and False Colors, which is really a pretty cover. Here come the cats. So I don't know. Oh, and then lastly, I forgot I was going to show you. This is just a Regency Christmas. And one of the suggestions that Sarah had was to read a Christmas book for a Christmas in July, which I thought was a great idea. I don't have very many Regency or romance Christmas books, but a friend gave me 2 of these. And so maybe I will read a story out of here. This is 5 stories by Mary Baylock, Carla Kelly, Mary Jo Putney, Anita Mills, and Sheila Walsh. So super duper fun. I will probably read a hare, and I'm thinking maybe this one, just because I love this cover so much. And I've already read these 2 of the Harlequins, so I might read this Nurse Sandra's Second Summer. I just love these so much. So anyway, that is my vintage retro romance collection. I'm super excited about July. I think it's going to be a really fun month. And I will be back soon to talk about Jane Austen July, because I'm excited about that too. All right, talk to you later. Bye.